Ah, Hollow Knight. Now you may be wondering how I went half a decade without playing it. I'm wondering that too, but I can say with confidence I'm so glad I finally played it. This past month, I finally mustered up the courage to give Hollow Knight a true go. My friends have been telling me for years to try out the game, which I always just responded with respectful ignorance. I knew about the game, just never decided to invest my time into it. I've attempted the game in the past, but never really got too far. But this time was going to be different. Once I got past Green Path, I was hooked. The mystery, the lore, the exploration, the combat, the movement, it all created an atmosphere I've never seen inside a game before. The level of immersion I felt while playing Hollow Knight is unlike anything else. Every obstacle to overcome led to something worthwhile. Every time I opened the game, I would find something new. Never did I feel like I had no idea what to do. In a game as open as Hollow Knight, that is incredibly difficult to pull off. But with the numerous secrets and new paths, exploring for a few minutes would lead me to a new challenge, and I always attempted that challenge. Sometimes I wasn't able to progress due to a lack of a movement ability, sometimes I was able to get through it. But I knew, if I was able to get through it, something worthwhile was waiting for me on the other side. This game has so many different rewards, and all of them felt special. Mask and soul shards, pale iron, charms, new combat abilities, new spells, upgraded spells, movement abilities, grubs, dreamers, essence, boss fights, and even Geo. I never knew what I was about to uncover when exploring a new area. That made a feeling that was incredibly special for me. How do I get past this wall? What will the boss fight give me? When the hell will I be able to get past these black energy beams? All questions I ask myself on a regular basis. Also, can I just say while recording this video, I had to turn off the music in the game so I can get this footage. And these boss fights, they sound pretty awkward. Just have a listen. Anyway, enough of me getting clapped by Hornet. I want to show you the Mantis Lords. This one, low-key, it lasted for like 3 minutes, was super awkward to fight. Anyway, let's get back to the review. Alright, where were we? Right. Rewards for exploration. Unlocking new movement abilities was one of my favorite for sure. With each new ability found, Hollow Nest opened up so much more. I found myself using tons of map stamps to mark where I wasn't able to reach yet, and it really showed how many different paths Hollow Knight had to offer. Now this obviously leads to a ton of backtracking, which I normally hate, but Hollow Knight pulls this off incredibly well. I never really felt at bore returning to areas, which is kind of surprising. I think that this was in part due to the reward system, and part due to the wonder about what new areas I would discover. Whatever it was, Team Cherry definitely succeeded. Okay, can we just talk about the boss fights? Holy crap, these were some of the best fights I've ever partook in. From the Mantis Lords to Nightmare King Grim, the design of these boss fights were flawless. During the boss fight, it's just you and the boss. There are no turns. The boss won't be invulnerable while just attacking you, before revealing its weak spot like certain other games. It's up to the player to learn the boss's attacks and when to strike. With all the combat options, there were so many ways to beat each boss. Despite this, these bosses were hard. Like, stupid hard. Now I haven't completed all the Pantheons and the Godmaster DLC, but I genuinely think I would pull out my hair if I tried. Nightmare King Grim alone took me hours and hours to defeat, and I had a blast doing so. I mean, Christopher Larkin's music score makes these bosses infinitely replayable and remarkable. It's a treat to play each one. Also, some bosses have brilliant lead-up sections before you go and actually challenge the boss. My favorite one that I noticed was the Mantis Lords fight. The characters in the game make it clear that these Mantis Lords are a force to be reckoned with, and still have honor unlike the rest of infected Hollow Nest. You fight many of these Mantis minions and travel through their habitat before reaching the Mantis Lords at the bottom. One of the most powerful points in the game for me took place in the Mantis Village. The game design is just brilliant. I could talk about the lore in not only this area but every area of the game for hours. So much interpretation leads to so many stories the game tells just from its art and small details. But I definitely don't have time to go over all my interpretations today. Oh, well, playing this game was an experience to behold. Too bad the sequel hasn't gotten news in years. Oh shit. I guess I picked a good time to play Hollow Knight. Well, in other news, if you guys have any content ideas, put them down below in the comments. I'll be reading all of them because there probably will be only like 3, let's be honest here. Also, another question. If you think possibly streaming some games like Hollow Knight would be a good idea, let me know. I'd be down for it. Anyway, it means a lot that you made it to the end of the video. Peace, everyone.